Let's be real, absolutely nobody enjoys a trip to the DMV. The lines, the waiting, it's just a headache. But what if you could skip that trip entirely? Welcome to another edition of The Explainer. Today we're taking a universally dreaded task, renewing your Alabama vehicle registration, and turning it into an absolute breeze. We're going to break down exactly how you can renew your tag right from your couch. So whether you're a total tech whiz or just dipping your toes into online portals, this explainer is built specifically for you. Seriously, ask yourself, what if you could skip the DMV trip entirely and renew your vehicle registration from the comfort of your own home? I mean, just imagine dodging those endless lines, those terribly uncomfortable waiting room chairs, and that frantic search for a parking spot. Well, the good news is you can reclaim a huge chunk of your time by tapping into the state's online infrastructure. We're going to walk through exactly how to bypass the physical office and handle the whole shebang digitally, efficiently, and without breaking a sweat. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our quick agenda for today. First, we'll gather your renewal essentials. Second, we'll walk through the actual online renewal process. Third, we're navigating some common renewal pitfalls so you don't get stuck. And finally, number 4, a quick final checklist and disclaimer. All right, moving right along to part 1, gathering your renewal essentials. So here's the deal with Alabama's timeline. It's actually highly structured, definitely not a free-for-all, and it has nothing to do with when you bought your car. For standard vehicles, the state uses a staggered January through November system that's tied directly to the first letter of your last name. So, for example, if your last name starts with an F, a G, or an N, your magic month is April, meaning your registration expires right on April 30th. Now, it's a bit different if you've got a specialized vehicle. Leased, commercial, or fleet vehicles are all lumped together, and they renew in October and November. And if you have an international registration plan, or IRP vehicle, your month is specifically assigned to you by the Alabama Department of Revenue. The key takeaway here, you literally cannot renew ahead of your designated month, and if you're past due, the online system might just lock you out. Timing really is everything. But timing isn't the only hurdle. You've also got to meet the state's insurance requirements. Alabama is super strict about its mandatory liability insurance law, or MLI. Basically, this means you can't drive on public roads without minimum coverage. We're talking $25,000 for bodily injury to one person, $50,000 for 2 or more, and $25,000 for property damage. And listen, when you try to renew online, the state doesn't just take your word for it. They use something called OIVS, the Online Insurance Verification System. Behind the scenes, it instantly talks to your insurance provider to make sure your policy is active right in that exact moment. If it can't verify you, boom, the digital doors slam shut. So, the crucial point is making sure you have 3 specific things in front of you before you even open a web browser. First, your official renewal notice. You'll need the unique PIN printed on it or your driver license number. Second, proof of that current MLI insurance. Even though the OIVS system checks everything automatically, you still want your policy number, your insurer's NIC number, which is just their specific ID code, and your vehicle's VIN handy, just in case there's a weird digital glitch. And third, have a valid payment method ready to go. A credit or debit card like Visa, MasterCard, or Discover will work perfectly across the county portals. Okay, you've got your stuff. Let's get into part 2, the online renewal process itself. Now, unlike some other states, Alabama uses a decentralized system. You won't find just one massive statewide website to renew a standard tag. Instead, you'll actually go straight to your specific county's portal. So if you live in Madison, Baldwin, Mobile, or anywhere else, your local license commissioner or probate office handles this. Just make absolutely sure you're on your county's official government site. Usually, you'll spot the state or county seal, which lets you know you're in the right, secure place. And here is the exact step-by-step breakdown once you're there. Step 1, find that local online portal. Step 2, type in the PIN from your mailer or your driver license number. Step 3, double-check that all your info on the screen is 100% accurate, especially your address. And step 4, pay the fee. Now, a quick heads up about the costs. Because you're paying online with a card, counties like Madison and Baldwin use a third-party processor called Ingenuity Inc. This means a convenience fee will get tacked onto your total. It's typically around 3% of the transaction, with a minimum charge of about $350. Just keep in mind that fee goes straight to the processor for handling the security of your payment, not to the county. Boom! You hit submit, the payment clears, and you are officially renewed. But wait, what about that physical sticker for your license plate? Well, based on guidelines from places like Madison County, your official registration decals will usually be mailed to you via the Postal Service and should show up within about 7 business days. Oh, and just a heads up, there is usually a tiny mailing fee for this, like $1 for a decal or maybe $2 if you're getting a whole new metal tag. But please, whatever you do, do not skip this next step. Always print your confirmation page and receipt the absolute second your transaction goes through. Why? Because let's say you get pulled over a few days later and your new sticker hasn't arrived in the mail yet. That piece of paper is your legal, temporary proof of renewal. So do yourself a huge favor and never close out of that browser window until you've printed a hard copy or saved a PDF of that receipt. All right, on to section 3, navigating common renewal pitfalls, because sometimes things don't go perfectly as planned. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the biggest roadblocks, the dreaded all zeros PIN. Usually, your mailed notice will have a standard random PIN that lets you log right in. But if you look at your PIN and it's literally just a bunch of zeros, you are going to be blocked from the online system. And all zeros PIN means the state of Alabama hasn't issued a tax value for your specific vehicle yet. And unfortunately, there is no online workaround for this. You'll actually have to call or visit your local probate or license commissioner's office to get it sorted out. Another thing that will stop you in your tracks is an address mismatch. If the address on your renewal notice doesn't perfectly match where you currently live, the online system won't let you proceed. You can't just type in a new address at checkout, unfortunately. You have to update it with the office directly. Same goes for affidavits. If your renewal requires any extra legal documentation, the automated system just isn't equipped for it, so you'll have to reach out to the office. Now, let's talk about the absolute most expensive pitfall, an insurance lapse. Remember that OIVS system we talked about earlier? If the state runs a check and finds out your registered car doesn't have mandatory liability insurance, they don't just mail you a polite warning letter. They will straight up suspend your vehicle registration. And if that happens, getting it back is going to hurt your wallet. You're looking at a mandatory $200 reinstatement fee for a first-time violation. Do it again, and that jumps to $400. Plus, you still have to prove you actually got insurance to lift the suspension. Definitely not worth the risk. And finally, let's bust a super common myth. Hey, I didn't get a notice in the mail, so how was I supposed to know? Yeah, the state does not care. They are crystal clear on this. While many counties are nice enough to send out reminders, it is 100% the vehicle owner's responsibility to know when it's time to renew. A lost piece of mail won't get you out of your legal obligation, and it certainly won't waive those late fees. All right, almost done. Section 4, final checklist and disclaimer. Before you hit that final submit button, run through this quick checklist. Number 1. Are you positive it's your correct renewal month based on your last name? Number 2. Does your current address perfectly match the county's records? Number 3. Do you have an active MLI policy hitting those 25K/50K/25K minimums? And number 4. Is your printer on, loaded with paper, and ready to print your receipt? If you're nodding yes to all 4, you are absolutely good to go. Of course, as with anything government-related, things can and do change. So please keep this in mind. This explainer aims to provide guidance based on the latest available information as of 2026-07-27. It is important to verify details on the official Alabama Department of Revenue website or consult directly with their representatives for the most current updates. Rules and processes may change, and the creator of this explainer is not liable for any discrepancies or errors in the renewal process. So here is my final thought for you to chew on today. Now that you're armed with all the exact steps to crush this system online, what else could you accomplish with the hours you just saved by skipping the DMV waiting room? By utilizing Alabama's online portals, you aren't just paying a tax. You are literally taking back your time. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Go get those documents ready, hop online, and enjoy your reclaimed afternoon.